Welcome back to the Taamim Mikra course with your host, Israel Maya. Hope you've been practicing. We are going to review anyway. I want to review as much as possible because it is important to review. And the more you hear this, the more often you hear these musical notes, these cantillation marks, or the Taamim, the easier it's going to be when you apply them to the Torah when you are ready to do that. Excuse me. Okay, this looks like a whole jumble or a mess of Taamim. Don't worry about it. You know most of what's here. The only thing that we're going to learn today is this, and this. So three of them. This you partly know already. This one you know, and this one you know. So we're just going to put it together. This one is going to be new for us, and so is this one. Oh, what about this one, Israel? Well, I got a surprise for you. You'll have to wait until we get there. But in the meantime, let's start with practicing Ravia. How does Ravia go? I want you to say it so that you know it. I cannot hear you, obviously, but you know that you know. Okay, go ahead, Ravia. And now I'll say it, Ravia. And now the next two, Ma'arich Sof Pasuk. Ma'arich Sof Pasuk. And the next two, Darga Devir. And the last two on this line, Darha Sof Pasuk. Now from our last lesson, we learned this one, and I'm singling out this one because we're going to learn this together with something else, which is here on the bottom on the third line, the first ones. But how does Shofar Meupach Terekad mean? Remember, we did it in the Shema itself, and we learned it in the last lesson, in video number 8. So this one is Shofar Meupach Terekad mean. Remember that Terekad mean can come separate from each other in the same word. I'm sorry, not in different words. It can come in the same word, separate, just like it is kind of here, or they can come together as well. When they're separate, you're going to accentuate each part of the word that it's on. Okay. The next two, Shofar holech zakef katon. Shofar holech zakef katon. And the next one, Shenegereshin. Shenegereshin. And just like Terekadmin, Shenegereshin also can come separate from each other, just kind of like it kind of is here. And I separated it on purpose so you can see it, but it also comes together. So either you're accentuating one part or one letter of that word, or you're accentuating two parts of that word. Okay, as is with many, many instances when you're reading Hebrew or the Torah itself. Well, most of the Torah, because these symbols you're not going to see in regular tefillah, you'll see them in Tehillim and anything that's Tanakh. Okay, so the next one, Kadma. Kadma. And the next three, let's have you do these three. Zakef katon, tarha, sof pasuk. Let's do it again. Zakef katon, tarha, sof pasuk. Okay, now let's get into the new ones. This one is Shofar Meupach Kadma. Okay, now Kadma, we just did. It's over here, and we know it. And the Shofar Meupach, we also know it from the last lesson. So if you put them together, this is what they sound like. Remember we did Shofar Meupach Terekad Min. Okay, so, and this is Kadma, the one afterwards, Kadma. Okay, so when we put them together, it's Shofar Meupach Kadma. Shofar Meupach Kadma. See, it's important to learn them together and separate from each other, and that's why I'm keep giving you ones that are just separated from each other. So that way, when you see them in the Torah, you'll be able to identify them quickly. and the tone of it. And the next one is going to be something new for us. The second ta'am that we're going to learn that's new. And oftentimes it comes together as la gerish, and many times it comes with this one, with the talsa, with talsha. We'll get there. Okay, so this one it's almost like it's going, it's almost like, I should say parentheses is the way I like to look at it. Parentheses on the top and parentheses on the bottom. Ma'arich tarha obviously is parentheses on the bottom, and the ones on the top is as la gerish. So the way that as la gerish goes, and it's a higher tone, gerish takes most of the tone. Azla pushes forward the tone, and gerish takes most of it. And it's like this. Azla gerish. It's a little bit longer. They're kind of balanced. It's not like ma'arich tarha. Again, azla gerish. Let's go from the beginning again. Shofar meupach kadma. Repeat after me. Shofar meupach kadma. And the next two, Azla Gerish. And the last one you should know. How does it go? Zakef Katon. Zakef Katon. Okay, let's look at the last ta'am that we're going to learn for today, which is this one. Say, well, but Israel, what about this one? Got a surprise for you. They sound exactly the same. Okay? They look differently a little bit. One is going this way, this little stick, and this little stick is going this way. I have no idea what talsha and talsa means. I believe the Ashkenazim call it tilsha, if I'm not mistaken. And they don't make a separation from one to the other. The Sephardim, the way I learned it, and I learned it from a Turkish chazan, a good friend of mine, called it talsha and talsa. So I guess that the H makes a difference between which way it's going. I'll tell you the truth. It doesn't matter what you call them. The only thing that matters is that you know how it sounds. And again, they sound exactly the same. So it goes like this. Talsha. Again, talsha. And if you want to make it shorter, talsha. If you don't like the long version, now I give you both versions and sometimes three versions of it, just so you know that there are variations. So you can do talsha, talsha. Okay, it's like it's going down and it's pointing downward, which is good because it reminds you it goes downward. Talsa sound exactly the same way. Talsa, the shorter version, talsa, talsha, talsa. Now I'm going to sing for you the way that I was taught this one, which I think is nice. The Yerushalmi version is not like that, but you can adopt. Remember, you're going to make these your own, so you can adopt whatever you'd like, as long as you stay within the limitations of how it sounds. Then it's, it doesn't sound like something completely different. But if it sounds similar and you change it a little bit, it's fine. That's later on. Right now, you're learning exactly as I'm telling you, because that way we start off with a base. So the way I learned how to do this one, and just so you hear it, this is talsa azla gerish. It kind of builds back up to it. It goes talsa azla gerish. This is not azla gerish, but I'm just drawing somewhere. Okay, so I don't do that often. I do it sometimes, but just so you know it exists. Otherwise, let's do it the way the Yerushalmim do it. Or, it's all relative. People change it, so it's more Yerushalmi style. Talsa azla gerish. So you're doing the talsha or talsa, doesn't matter. Talsha, and then when you move over, azla gerish. Okay, so let's do these again, and then we'll do that one, which is you're doing the same exact thing, okay? But we're changing the name. So starting from here, Talsham Azla Gerish. Excuse me. And the next one, Talsam Azlam Gerish. I gave you both variations. Okay, now, I don't want this to become too confusing for you, but this is not, remember the first few videos, I did the order of the Taamim in accordance to what we were learning in the Shema. I'm not doing that now because you already know the Taamim. You're going to see what I mean in just a minute. Let's go to Taamim. Here. Okay. So all of these Taamim you already know. The only thing that you just learned was the Azla Gerish, which we're not even going to do in this video. We're not going to get here because it's too long. Okay, we're only going to do 4 pesukim. Okay, we're only going to do 4 pesukim. The first pasuk is pretty long. It starts off here, ends here. The second pasuk is shorter, ends here. Third pasuk is here, and then the fourth pasuk ends here, right before the quote unquote curse. Okay, we'll discuss that on the next video, but just know that that's supposedly a curse. Okay, what we're saying, and that's why we drop our voices. Let's start with Vehaya. Okay, and I'm not going to get too detailed because you already know this stuff from other videos. So, how do you think this goes? Vehaya. Next set is Shofar Meupach Kadma. And remember, these two words go connected. They're connected together. So it's Im Shamoa. Not Im Shamoa, rather Im Shamoa. Im Shamoa Tishme'u. Im Shamoa Tishme'u. And then these words go connected as well. Up here, not down. El Mitzvotai. And this is Darga Tevir. Asher Anochi, 2 accent marks. Anochi. Just covered the accent mark. And now this word, some people get confused. It's metzaveh. This is a vav with a dot inside of it. The dot is telling you to strengthen the vav. If you don't strengthen the vav, it's okay. You still said it correctly as long as you're not saying metzue or something weird like that. So it's mitzaveh. Okay, we're here. It's marich tarha, and this is atnach. Marich tarha, atnach, mitzaveh etchem, hayom, sheneged eshin. Le'ahava, sheneged eshin. How would you do it? Le'ahava, 2 accent marks. The aleph has an accent mark, and the vet has an accent mark. Le'ahava. This is again, Shofar meupach kadma. Shofar meupach kadma. Et Adonai Elohechem. Et Adonai Elohechem. Zakev katon. Next word. Ul'ovdo. Zakev katon. Ul'ovdo. Tarha. Sof pasuk. Bechol levavchem. Uvchol nafshechem. Notice the difference? I paused here. There's a break there. Bechol levavchem. This is continuous. Uvchol nafshechem. Why? Because of the line that connects these 2 words and these 2 words. Bechol levavchem. Tarha. Uvchol nafshechem. Sof pasuk. And here you have Darga Tevir. Go ahead and do it. What's Darga Tevir? Can you do it with the words? Try it. Darga Tevir Venatati Metar Artsechem. Remember, these 2 words are connected. Metar Artsechem. Okay. The next 3 words. Can you do it? Tarha shofar olech atnach. Tarha shofar olech atnach. Tarha shofar olech atnach. Be'ito yore umalkosh. This is shofar olech zakev katon. Let's do it together. Or put them together rather. How would you say it? ואספת דגניך, שופר הולך זקף קטון. This is תרחה, סוף פסוק. ותירושך, ויצהרך, ויצהרך. If you say ויצהרך, it sounds like there's an aleph here. It's ויצהרך. There's a hey there. So I pause a little bit. ויצהרך. Very, very slight, tiny pause. Okay? Next pasuk. Now this one usually comes with darga and tevir, right? But it's not. Darga tevir. This is just tevir. So how does just tevir go? Just tevir. I like that. Tevir. And there's two accent marks here, under the nun and under the taf. Venatati. This is ma'arich tarha atnach. Ma'arich tarha atnach. Aisev besadecha livhemtecha. Again. Aisev besadecha livhemtecha. Ma'arich sof pasuk. Ve'achalta ve'sava'ata. You have an accent mark here and an accent mark here. So you're saying ve'achalta. Not ve'achalta. Ve'achalta. And then you just have one here. Ve'sava'ata. Okay? So ve'achalta ve'sava'ata. Okay? Shofar olech zakef katon. Hishameru lachem. Tarha atnach. Two words together. Ben yifte levavchem. Ravia on the top. Vesartem. Vesartem. Ravia. This is kadma. Kadma. Va'avadtem. Va'avadtem. Okay, two accent marks on that va'avadtem. Didn't erase. There we go. Shofar olech zakef katon. Tarha sof pasuk. Ooh, four of them. And this is our last one. So again, shofar olech zakef katon. Tarha sof pasuk. Elohim acherim. Vehishtahavitem lahem. Vehishtahavitem. Two accent marks. Long word, two accent marks. Vehishtahavitem lahem. Back here. Oh, here. Shofar olech zakef katon. Tarha sof pasuk. Elohim acherim. Tarha sof pasuk. Vehishtahavitem lahem. Okay. I'm going to stop there. It's stuff that you already know, but it is a lot. Okay, it is a lot. You have to put it together, and putting it together is the bigger part of the challenge in learning Taamim Mikra. We're going to move over in our next video, in our next session, to a practice video that I want to do accompanying this particular part of the Shema, the second paragraph of the Shema. There really is a lot to talk about the Shema. It really is incredible. The Shema Israel itself is incredible, which I'll do a video on eventually on the deeper meanings of the Shema and what we find here and the mitzvot that are tied to the Shema itself. If you don't know, if you already know, then it'll be kind of a review, but nice also to analyze it. That would be much later on, obviously. But if you go on to the next video, we're going to, like I said before, it's going to be an accompaniment to this particular lesson. Okay, well, continue to practice and just have fun. Enjoy it. And thank you so much for being with me.